am ready. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Avini Vibes. We're grateful that you're here. Today is October 2nd, 2025. Well, I thought about it. Today is a special day for me because 35 years ago I was in labor and I gave birth to my son. And it's amazing because we've been on an amazing journey with him through his health and his wellness through a terrible accident that he has had, on his 21st birthday. But it was a beautiful thing because of a company like this and people that are progressive and just looking at ways for alternatives. He's healed and he's well. I'm looking at him and I said, "Can you come on camera?" And he's a little shy, but I'm very, very grateful because you know how time goes so fast. So tonight we're going to be very respectful of your time. We're going to be here for 35, 40 minutes at the max. If you're a guest, you can raise your hand. Come on, just pop in real quick. And here he is. He's Ryan. Say, hey, I'm well.
Hello.
I'm well. Broke his back, hit his head, TBI, and now he's a fitness coach. Yeah, so it was a journey. It was a journey, 15 months nonverbal and all you go through. But if you're on this call, you are progressive, you're open, you're always looking for the best solutions. And that's why we're here tonight, because Avini is the most amazing company with the best leadership, quality products, and the most, amazing leadership. And we're here tonight to hear from one of our very, very profound leaders, Neil Roth. But before we do that, I just want to remind you that we don't make any medical claims. We don't diagnose or we don't treat, but we're here to share. We're here to learn. And I love the fact that Carol and I and Eddie, we said like 2.5 years ago, we're going to do this. And here we are. And look how many people are here because Avini is, the place to be. So with that said, I just want to be grateful for the opportunity. Last night, if you were on the Diamond Call, Robin West, wow, what a call. If you don't tune in, mark your calendar, get your phone out and put Wednesday nights, on a timeline for you to be there. Our Diamond Call. We have so many people that are so willing to share their knowledge and their expertise with you. So mark your calendar right now, get your phone out Wednesday nights, and so many other calls, 11 o'clock a.m. That's Eastern time, that you can learn, and you can learn so much more about the products. Last week, we heard from Doc Carter. I don't know, was anybody on that call last week? Wow, that was amazing. Even though he talks a little slow, Doc Carter's from Kentucky. What amazing story. Like what resonated with me, he left his cane in the corner. Like this, I see Neil, our CEO is going to talk about plus motion. Wow, because of these products, he could leave his cane in the corner. So with that, I just want to say welcome. If you're a guest, welcome to all you distributors and welcome, Neil. I know it's a holiday, but you always take the time to make us your priority and the importance for you to be here with us. So welcome. The floor is yours. Welcome, Neil Roth, our CEO.
Well, thank you everybody for taking the time to get on these calls because this is how you stay involved with our company. So it's really good. So there's a whole lot of things going on in the company right now. I think we'll talk more a little about the regions in a little bit. Next week's our first regional in Nashville. Did you guys get an email yesterday regarding the summit that they're starting to sell the tickets? Yes? Okay, good.
Yes, yes.
If you didn't get it, you better let somebody know you're not on the email list, because you should have gotten it. But anyway, if you go to avinievents.com now, you can sign up for the summit. And the sooner you sign up, the better, as they say, right? So that's
And
good.
Neil, I just want to compliment you. I was on the phone with Chip. We did a three-way the other day, and the summit, man, the ticket is only $20 and all the food you give us. Like you give us so much food for $20. You couldn't even buy lunch for that. So we're
No, wait a minute. It's
grateful.
90. Don't exaggerate. It's $99.
Yes, but it's oh, I
It,
apologize, but it's so much value for
I,
what
I mean,
we
I'll tell you outright, it costs us $500 a person to put
so
that
much
on.
value. I mean, so
Yeah.
much food and value for that. So thank
Because
you for doing that.
you know, I think that if you take the time out to come and learn and help us grow, you deserve to be taken good care of.
Thank
So,
you, Neil.
and we'll continue to do that. Um, So there's a lot of new things. I don't know. There's new activation packs out. If you're not sure what they are, if you go into your back office under the documents and media, the new activation packs are there. We came out last week, as a lot of people remember, with the joint relief product bundle, which I think is going to be a great bundle because you put Plus Motion, which is turning into a life-changing product very quickly, along with the Plus Relief. You really do change people's lives. You change the way they live, you change the way they walk, you change the way they feel. I mean, you walk around with a sore shoulder, you're a sore person. Okay, it'll change a lot of people's attitudes in life. We came out with the best value prevention kit bundle and the best ever kit ever. That if you buy that, I have to tell you, if you buy one of those on your auto ship, you're getting over 40% savings on products that most of you are taking all day long. So I would suggest you do that. Obviously, auto ships are out now. If you don't have your auto ship in, get your auto ship in. Update it, do whatever you need to take. Tell your downline, as I like to say, take my money, please. You're out of your mind if you order products without an auto ship. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, next Tuesday night there's a CEO call with me and Rick. I would suggest you get as many people as you can on it because we got a couple of major announcements going on that call. Okay. It's not just going to be a recap. It's going to be some things that are going to be done going forward that we need to discuss. Okay. So please be there. We have hundreds and hundreds of distributors. I would love to see 400 or 500 on these calls. Again, the more you are on these calls, the more you're involved, the better you're going to do. I mean, that's just the way it is. Obviously, the whole point of the way we put together the business is just sharing amazing products with people and telling them there's a business involved. And there's some great things coming out to help you do that. The app is now starting to work really well. Those people who are anybody from Canada on this call? Hey,
Yep.
Phil.
Phil.
It's working up there. We found out that and this is how stupid some people are. We moved it to a new app, which was from the same company, by the way. They had bought the old company. And they forgot to turn on the Canada, and we've been fighting for 3 weeks. Why can't we get it going? I don't know why it's not working. I don't know. And then somebody realized there was a switch that wasn't turned on their end. It took, there's only so much we could do. I appreciate the fact that you guys are living through us with all this stuff that's going on, most of which is way beyond our control. But trust me, as Chip knows, I have a very long whip, and I use it regularly.
So
So
in the horse world, that's called a lunge whip, but then there's also a crop. So I guess you're on the long end of the lunge whip.
I may have one in both hands. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But we've got some great things going. The website's going to is an amazing website. It's just going to get better because now that we've gotten through the issues, we can start doing the pluses that we want to do to it. You haven't even seen yet what we're going to be able to do with that website. It's going to be really, really helpful to everybody out there. The app, I mean, how hard is it to get hold of 5 people a day now with that app? Not at all. It could take you at least 45 seconds. Come on. How many people you got in your phone? I was talking to somebody the other day, said they had 1,500 people in the phone. How many people did you talk to? Oh, maybe 75. Well, why did you send them the video? You're not helping people. Don't our products help people? Isn't that what we're here for? To help people? And whether they want to do it as a business or not, let's help them with the products. But they're not going to know about it if we don't tell them, because guess what? You're the only advertising we have.
Right.
That's why we pay you 47 to 50 cents on the dollar, so that you will go out and tell people what we have and then help other people learn how to tell people what they have. That's what you're getting paid for, period. Okay? The good news is the reason why people get paid so well in this business is because those who do it get a lot of money and those who don't get nothing, as opposed to the people who work in government in the stores who get paid no matter whether they work or don't. And we know in government they don't. So, you know, all kidding aside, you really need to take it upon yourself to say the only one who's responsible for whether I make money or not is me. Nobody else, me. All right. And we all grew up in the generation of taking responsibility for yourselves.
Yep.
Okay. So we need to do that. And we're here to help. Don't get me wrong. We're not going to leave you hanging out there. We're constantly giving you new stuff. And we'll continue to give you. We've got some new videos we're going to introduce very soon. I don't know if you've seen Rick's new 10.5 minute video for products. I mean, if you send out a video, somebody says, well, what else do I need to do? Just send them that video. If that doesn't turn them on, I don't know what the heck is gonna. And just remember, not everybody's going to be excited, and that's cool. Because it may be not the right timing for those people. But
Well, I have a quick story. I started with someone way back at 3 years ago and sent her videos and dripped on her. She was probably number three that I ever talked to. And what happened was she saw my story. I did a little story and invited her to come and listen about the plus motion about my toe because my toe wouldn't bend, Neil, and I couldn't play tennis because that joint, like right here in my toe, couldn't run, couldn't play tennis. And I put a little story out and honestly, she was number three. And she saw my story that I could run, and she called me up and she joined. She signed up. She says, "I need that." She's a professional dancer, and she says, "Like I need that. How do I do it? I want to do that. I'm having the same issue." So it took 3 years for her to listen. But you just said that timing. You never know.
timing is everything. It's totally
Yep.
everything. So anyway, listen, I can go on about the products because I love the products. I'm on every product. I have a story about every product. I could be an hour-long conversation about what each product does for me, but we're not going to do that. I do know, like I said, the Plus Motion, the Plus Balance. I mean, it's sort of amazing because Rick and I sit down. We're just working on the new ones for February. We sit down every time and we go, "How are we going to beat the last one?" You
Right.
know, I mean, we came out with the Mind and Vision and the Cardio Care last year, blew up the business. Then we come out with the Plus Balance. Is that an unbelievable product? I mean, it just blew up right away. And we're going, oh my God, what are we going to do for the next one? And then we come out with Plus Motion and the Zimmunity. I mean, is anybody using that Zimmunity? I mean, I'm sleeping better at night. I don't know about you. I'm sleeping for the first time in my life. I'm sleeping 6 hours at a time. I'm a 3 hour sleeper. Okay.
Mm.
So it's there's a lot of things that product will do for you. So we'll continue to do that, and we'll continue to come out with great new products. We just need you guys to continue to talk to people about them. So,
Well,
Kristen, you got some questions?
that's a good topic. Like I like to think about who do I know that doesn't sleep. So I had a conversation with someone today. He doesn't sleep. So boom, immunity mushrooms. So if you're at a place in your life and you go, "Oh my gosh, I don't know who to talk to." They're everywhere. I mean, you can't walk out the door without having people needing what we have. So we have, like Neil just said, we have every aspect of every product that's going on. But Neil, we just wanted to ask you. So we all need to come to the regionals, and I
Yes.
know why. I've been to them, but they get better and better and better. So we just want to thank you for what you do because the experience and the knowledge the effort that the team puts in there. Customer service also second to none. I mean, Heath and all those. Like I've never experienced the expertise or how well everybody answers your questions in that short a time. So please send that to them as well. Carol Witt, Carol, I don't know if you have a question, but I know you have a comment about something you wanted to share with Neil about a testimonial about how things are working for you. Carol, I'm grateful because Carol's been helping me do this for 2 years. So, Carol, your turn.
All right. So, yeah, I want to just share that I absolutely love. I've gotten rid of my face cream that's like $60 a month. Okay. I've gotten rid of it. And now I just use the gel. I love it on my face. It has literally taken all the imperfections out of my face. Everyone's like, Carol, your face has gotten so white and light. And I was like, I love this stuff. So guys, women, get rid of your $60 skincare and use the gel. It is amazing. I also use it on my teeth, and then I use the spray on my arms, and what a difference it's made. I actually did the spray on my arms, one arm, and for about 3 months, and didn't do the other arm. And what a difference. I still haven't caught up. So one arm has the age spots, the other one is very light and very nice. So yeah, I absolutely love I love Avini, and I love what we are up to, and that is that we are up to changing the way people do health. And I'm so excited to share this with so many people. What I want to share a story with you, and because a lot of people haven't heard it in a long time. And my brother, he had the vaccine shot, and he about I'm going to say 5 weeks after he took that shot, he started having these horrible symptoms. And he started having the ringing in his ears so loud that he couldn't hear conversation, double vision, and then he lost the strength in his jaw to chew. And he and for 15 months he dealt with no life. He's a pro golfer. He's done so many things. He's a jock, guys, and he had to stop doing everything. And for 15 months, he just existed. And I said to him, I said, Dean, I said, I don't know what Cell Defender is going to do for you, but I know what it did for me. And if it does even half of what it did for me, you're going to be very happy. And I got to tell you guys, um, my brother's a skeptic, and he absolutely, I kept checking in on him. And about a month, within a month, he said, Carol, something's happening. And I said, okay. And he goes, but I'm not going to tell you what yet. And then I checked a little bit longer, and it's probably about, I'm going to say 7 weeks. And he was like, Carol, he said, I'm about 90% back. Guys, he can drive at night again. He can play golf and he can play pickleball because he's not seeing the double vision any longer. Um, his life has really changed inside of taking the Cell Defender. And he says, he goes, order my magic drops for me. He orders 6 at a time, and he will not be without them. He also, guys, he's now starting to share out on the golf course. He's using the Plus Energy, and he does it before he goes golfing for 4 to 6 hours. And now he's got some of his buddies taking it. So yeah, he's absolutely loving these products. So thank you guys. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, and Rick. Thank you that that you've given these products to us. Thank you so much.
So, Carol, you're in Florida, so you'll be in Boca, right?
Oh
Boca's
yeah,
coming up. We're all going November 14th and
I
15th.
was there last year, and
I
I'm coming
know.
again. I
Yeah.
loved it. Mhm.
Yeah. So Neil, that's what it's about, and we don't have to tell you, but words of parting. We just want to hear from you, Neil. We need to all go out and share because we know these products work, but more importantly, we need to go out with what Carol just did with the enthusiasm. Neil, if you can just share a little bit about that. Like, what is it about that? Like Carol did, that enthusiastic. What you've been in this business from the other side, not the CEO, but you've been where we've been. So what
Oh,
advice could you give us?
well, I mean, look, what I learned along the way. I mean, there's a lot of advice you can give. Testimonials are very important. Some people believe it, some people don't. But we have enough proof at this point that our products work that we don't really, it's great. We don't have to worry about whether the products work. I've seen there are companies out there now who are blowing up, but they will be gone next year because their products don't work. They're just a lot of hype. We have spent 3.5 years designing products and a business based upon successful products. All right. And now we're at the point where we don't have anything to prove about the products anymore. But what we have to prove is that we know how to expand our business even more dramatically than we are. Because we're getting closer, but if we're not there now, if we get to a certain level, those of you who are on our business right now, you're gonna, if a click means somebody come in your business, it's gonna be click, 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 click. Because that's what happens when it hits momentum. All right. And we're not quite there yet, but we will be within the next 18 to 24 months, if not faster. It only takes one little incident, for some reason, to blow that up. And if you're building a good, solid, concrete three across business today, you're going to be ready for something that you only read about in the papers. Okay? You're going to be ready about, the six-figure incomes. And I'm not promising you, I'm just telling you, if you do it, it's available to you. If you don't do it, I can tell you one thing, it won't be available to you. And I want everybody to be successful. To me, when I listen to Carol Witt, that's my emotional salary. Okay? That's a salary I get for knowing that the reason why I get up every morning and do this at my age is because I know I'm helping people. And my wife and I were just talking about it because we had a meeting today putting our trust together because, we got 6 kids and we don't want them fighting when we die. So, so we decided what they're going to get. But and the guy says, he's looking at this and he's going, why are you working? I said, because, and my wife turned around to him and said, because he's helping people.
Man.
All right. It's not me. She said that. She knows it.
Rob,
We're making a difference. Guys, every one of you are making a difference in somebody's life. And what you don't understand is that when you make a difference in one person's life, you're making a difference in all the people who are around them. So you're really affecting, if you think you're affecting 10 people, you're probably affecting hundreds of people. Okay? Because that's the way that kind of thing works. So the more you talk to people, look, there's no doubt in mine and Rick's mind that every single person in this country needs to be on self-defense. I don't care if they think they're healthy, they're not. The fact remains they're not. Okay, and this is not going to be the end all that's going to make them healthy, but it's going to allow their body to help them get healthy. But I can tell you, we have 15,000 distributors or 16, whatever the number we have. That's not enough to get to the 330 million people we need to get to just here. Forget about the 70 million people or whatever it is, 40 million people up in Canada and the people in the UK and all the other countries that we all want to go into. I have people calling me every day. I know people in Australia and I know people in the Philippines. Hey, show me here first before I spend money to go over there. Okay? Show me the growth. Show me you're going to go out there. I do know that when I became a distributor, the way I was successful is that every single month, even after I hit Triple Diamond, I brought 2 new people into my business personally. Every single month, a minimum of 2. And if it was the last day of the month, I didn't go to bed until I got them in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's called commitment.
Yeah.
People will do what you do. You can't sit on a call like this and be Christine Rolando, because I know what she's doing, because I see her numbers, and say, we need to recruit people. We need to go out there. If you're not doing it, it's not going to come across as real. But she is doing it, so it's real. It's from the heart. It's from the soul. It's from where you work from. So, and I believe that's what you got to do. You got to make a commitment. I don't care if it's one person every 2 months. Pick a number. But don't just say, oh, I didn't do it. Do it. We've given you the tools. Use the app. Use your upline. I have to tell you, you bring somebody to one of these, a conference like Nashville and Florida, 90+% of and the same thing in the summit. Over 90% of the guests that come sign up. And they sign up for $4.99 and $9.99 because their belief is so full through the roof. Now, the next one in Nashville next week, if you can make it, be there because we're going to announce a new product. We're going to announce a new marketing system also. So you can hear about it the following week or you can see it when it starts. Be there.
All right, so just to reiterate what you said, everyone on this call, I want you to raise your hand. At least two new people this month, right? Two new. That's a look at that. Gary, I need to see the peace sign. That's two new. Like, yeah, and I'm guilty sometimes because I get busy in the management side of it because that's my nature as an executive director of not-for-profits. And sometimes I have to go, oh my gosh, I got to stop managing and I have to go out and do the thing, the front line, pick up the call, pick up the phone, pick up the things that are not always easy, but pick up that phone call too. I have this belief. I start the day with the hardest thing. The person that's the hardest, I think, on my never list, I'm going to call them first thing in the morning. So everyone on this call, there's 40 of us, we're going to all commit and we're going to get two this month for sure. Because
By
as
the way, don't forget that the 50% more goes through this Saturday.
oh, so there you go. So we're
So if you
grateful
got
for
one
that.
in this week, go get another one.
There you go. All right. So any questions? Neil's going to take
I
two
think I think
questions.
I think Priscilla had a question.
Oh,
I
where
thought
is
her
she?
name go up.
Priscilla? I can't see her, but Priscilla, please unmute and you got it.
And Ed has a question too.
Oh, I don't know if I want to take Ed's.
Ed Kowalski's. All right. So Priscilla.
No question. I was just committing to two. That's all.
All right. Two.
Oh,
No
okay.
question. And
All
thanks
right,
for
Ed,
the,
what
yeah,
you got,
thank you
Ed?
for-
There's the peace sign. We're all going for two. At least the minimum two. Go ahead, Ed.
Hey, Neil, I don't have a question, but I wanted to say first what you talked about with Rick's 11-minute video. That is so powerful because when you send that video out, there's going to be one, two, three, maybe five things that are going to resonate with somebody, but it only takes one thing. One thing is a conduit. And there's so many people that tell me I took this, and if that worked for me, I gotta believe everything else is going to work. And that's happened so many times. And like Doc Carter called me today, and I was on my way to an appointment. He told me a story, and I'm not going to tell it now. I'll let Doc tell it. The only way Doc can tell it. I cannot replicate Doc's story, but it almost made me cry about a woman who basically
I think he's on. I think he's on, Ed. I think I saw it.
well, maybe Doc can tell the story, but I told Doc,
I'd
and
love Neil to hear it.
yeah, Neil, you got to hear this because I told Doc, and I pulled into my appointment. I said, Doc, I said, you made my day, and two, I said, everything you've done in Avini, does that one story make everything worth it? He said, 100%. And Doc, you got to come on, man. You got to let
All right,
Doc.
so let's unmute him. Carol, unmute Doc.
Yeah.
Doc.
He has to unmute himself. There he is.
Yeah, there you
Yeah. Hello there. Hello, Neil. Well, I gotta tell you, I took the products for 2 years. Well, no, for 13 months until I rubbed some Plus Relief on and started rubbing it into all my neighbors and friends. That made me a believer, so I became a active distributor. And I would tell Ed on call after call, Ed, I need to see a miracle. I can read about all these miracles in California and Texas and Florida. Neil don't need to see a miracle. He sees them all the time. I just need one here. And one day I was going to what I thought was a good prospect. And also on the way, I was stopped to give my cousin some Plus Relief. And I explained to her how that worked. And she asked me if there was anything for something more serious. And this was in February. And she previously had bad sales and had chemotherapy. It caused a worse condition than what it cured. And on the way, I got left a Plus Relief and went to go see the other person. And I called Chip. I called Doug Dickey and got a regiment for my cousin to go on. And I came back. I told her the expense and everything. And she said, doctors say I have no hope. What have I got to lose? And so we started her on a regimen of 100 drops, 4 mushrooms a day, fiber. and a bottle of silver to clean her out. And her first checkup on blood work was going to be June. And she felt better. At the time, she could only clean one room in her house at a time. And these white blood cells were down under 100, and they're supposed to be 5,000 to 7,000 for a woman her age. And basically not much hope. But by June, she was cleaning the whole house, and she was gardening and planting flowers. So her numbers got to be better, but she got really some kind of a congestion, which I didn't find out about, and they was giving her antibiotics. They didn't do much good. Of course, I had her use some silver spray in her lungs, and it made it better in 2 or 3 days, but that's beside the point of the story. She got her test in June, and for the first time in 5 years, she had more white blood cells than she had had over a 5-year period, but it was still extremely low. And her doctor attributed it to the antibiotics causing a spike in her white cells. So I'm not so sure about that. So we continued on, and her next test was September 30th this week. So pins and needles. She's feeling better all the time. I'd started her on Plus Motion when it came out because she has terrible hip and back problems, but she got this test, and the doctor came in. It was the PA, not the regular doctor, came in with a smile on her face. And she said, "Good numbers?" And they said, "Well, we hope. Actually, the number's so good, we want to run 4 different blood tests to verify this test." So they ran 4 more tests. She came back with a bigger smile, and she said, "So, are they good?" She said, "No, they're not good. They're near perfect." So she came over and showed her the numbers, and all 4 of those blood works that needed to agree with the first one, she said, these are not just normal range. They're the perfect number that we asked for. And she said the only thing wrong in all this blood work, you are almost in a normal white blood cell count range. And if you was in here for the first day, we would just tell you, all your blood work looks good. You just have a slightly small drop in your white blood cells. She said, "Would you tell me I have this disease if I came in?" She said, "Oh no, that disease would not even enter our mind." And she told me that when she left, that she's pretty sure she did not feel her feet hitting the blacktop.
Oh,
So that's 11 months I've waited on this story, and it came this week.
wow.
And listen, I've told you in that call last week, we're not selling Tupperware. I could feel good about selling you a bowl and seeing it 8 years later. But when I drive by my cousin's house 2, 3 years down the road, she's out in the flowers and waving at me, and she said, "Oh, by the way, now listen to me. This Plus Motion, I've had to take pain pills for months." And she said, "That stuff has kicked in, and I have not touched a pain pill in 5 days. When you order from me, I want 3 months supply because I don't want to run out." And that don't have anything to do with her disease. So what I was looking for when I was talking to Ed in December, January, February, I now have. I don't just have a story in California and Texas and Florida and people I don't know. I got a story of my family in my town that happened to me. And for that, I can just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rick Deitch. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Christine, for the opportunity to tell the story. But that is as real as this screen that I'm looking into. And I know I know that Neil hears them all the time, but I don't. But I did now, and that's. I mean, I'm in it for life because I know it's real.
There's your miracle.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Doc. And one day we're going to get your camera working so we all can see you, or maybe we're going to get you to a regional. So with that, oh, wow, amazing. Neil, last week,
So
Doc.
Christine, hold on one second. I just want to say something about that. So
Please.
there's a really important thing in there, okay? A lot of us spend time looking at things like she's having with the Plus Motion, that we're looking for like instant gratification on our products. So we need to remember that, especially if somebody has an issue, it may have taken them 20 years to build that issue up. You got to give us more than 3 weeks in order to get rid of it.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's really the lesson to be learned from what Doc just talked about. You know, little baby steps is better than a big jump that jumps backwards. You know, a lot of little baby steps add up to a football field. So I think that's really exciting. Good. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate the story. And no, I don't hear enough of them. There's always more I want to hear.
Yeah.
That I say, praise God, from whom all blessings flow.
Amen. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much, Neil. We're going to give you the opportunity to give us, close us out. We always ask our guest speaker to give us some words of wisdom before we can all hit the road and get our 2. Maybe we'll even do 2 + 2 is 4. So, Neil, we're going to give you that opportunity tonight. What would you like to leave us with?
Well, listen, I want you to understand one thing, that as far as our company is concerned, meaning the people that we have working for our company, you know, the corporate staff, the people at the factory, they understand there's only one thing that they have to do, and that's to take care of the distributors. When we say the distributors are our biggest asset, we truly, truly mean it. I want you to take that to the bank, and I want you to go out what you need to do to show them and show us that what we do is appreciated too, because that's how you show us appreciation, you know, by doing what you say you're going to do. So go out and do it. You know, I could quote, many years ago when I ran retail companies, there was a video out by the Muppets, and they had this corporate guy sitting at a desk talking to, as an executive, talking to everybody, his sales team. And he's talking to a sales team, and he's like dressed in a suit. It's one of those, you know, big characters that they have. And he's dressed in a suit, and then he starts getting more passionate. And he starts taking off his tie. And he starts yelling, and he says, "You got to go out and sell. We got to sell." And then he's just screaming, go, "Sell, sell, sell." And it was the most incredible thing. And people walked out of that meeting like walking on the ceiling. You know, it was just crazy. It was very funny, but it was really well done. I'm not telling you to sell, I'm telling you to talk. Go out and talk, talk, talk. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you, Neil. It's always a blessing to be here on Avini Vibes. Thank you, each and every one of you that joined us tonight. We're very, very grateful for the opportunity. And let's not forget, it is an opportunity that we have to embrace. Let's each go out and share as we continue to learn and share these amazing products, because you never know, it might be somebody like Doc just shared. You know, it's a long-term thing. So never give up. Just keep sharing, and we'll see you all next week, and we'll see you we'll see you in Nashville. We'll see you down in October 10th and 11th. And Gary's always my point guy on dates, but I think we'll be October and November. We'll see you in Boca. So God bless each and every one of you.
We look
Have a
forward to
great
seeing
night.
everybody. Take
Thank
care.
you. See you next week.
Everyone, good night.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Good night,